here we are. Let's shrink this down a little bit. Shrink this up a little bit. Good morning, everybody. Gonna reset my levels here a little bit, but we've been selling off pretty good, so I'm gonna look for a bounce on the open. Possibly. We are at a key structure level at 757. So right here, right now. Previous day levels. 5 minutes here. Yesterday's low is basically this white line that I drew up yesterday. I ended up taking that bounce. Caught a little piece of that. 650 on that one. Not too shabby. That's the previous day low. Previous day high. We basically closed on the highs. This will be the overnight high right here. And then I'll consider this 5. Previous day high there. All right, that's it. Simple setup. Let's see what happens on this open here. I want to see what kind of opening range we get. Turn off the silence in my head. If I hear any fire drills or anything like that, I'll let you guys know. Send you over to Top Step TV. Okay. Okay. So let's see what this opening range will do for us. If it goes right away, then oh, there it goes. I would like to see it come back. That would be my goal, to have it come back a bit first. But I don't think we're going to get that immediate rotation. Usually when we're opening on the lows like this, it's, going to get bid up kind of quickly. So we are going to see what happens. I'm going to just give this a little refresher. 73% long. Damn. Unfortunate. That's that opening range there. That is a 151 tick opening range. So I need that to come back and pull back for me a little bit. Come back to the bottom end of that before I decide if I want to take a long. I did want to take that long right away. That was, clear as day, right? That's just a difficult trade, especially when you're waiting for that market open, for us to decide, say, okay, realistically, this bottom wick is that overnight low, right? I'm going to leave that where it is because I think it's more of a justifiable location. We'll start looking to see what happens at this previous day low, see if that's going to reject or if it's going to continue to push through that. Super patient yesterday. I waited all day. I went out. I ended the stream. I did some business stuff. I went out to the store, picked my son up from school, all that fun stuff. We came back to the markets actually prior to that. Caught back on here around, I don't know what time it was, like 2 power hour time. What time was that? I saw this come in. It was 1:30. So 1:30. I pretty much saw that the price was coming down into our overnight level. I said if we get that rejection, we're going to get this rotation back to the high of the day. I got that rotation, and I caught this small piece here from here to here. Nice little sweep, just a quick little bounce. So if we could be just as patient today, we're going to be just fine. I'm going to just do what I can to wait. I did want to short last night too, but I'm not in that game. This big explosive close and then just a failure of it and just rotate down all night long. All night. Sitting at the bottom of this basically this support level here, this resistance here. So you see we're entering into this area of here, here. Even here was a little bit of congestion, so you could even count that one, right? So that's where we're at right now, and that's why we're running into congestion. So if you question why you run into congestion sometimes, why price does what it does, this is why, right? Support, 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 resistance. Now is it going to break through resistance, push back up through those lows? We'll see. It's pretty heavy to start the day. Even that little pop there. Nvidia is selling finally a little bit. But I mean, selling into 1,125, which is pretty market lows. And then yesterday's like end of day, late afternoon low here is a support level. So watch what happens at this support level for Nvidia. You did get a delta divergence there on the high end, right? Big pullback in delta. Price did not play along, right? So it's kind of interesting how you could see aggressive sellers came in. Hey, buddy. What's up, Kramer? Welcome back. Are you trading today or are you just watching? This is interesting for a short based off of these levels here. It's good to see you back on the charts. So now Delta's trying to push up through these highs again. It didn't quite make it there. Price making new highs. So that's interesting. Just like I called yesterday here, right? We said this is the delta divergence that you're looking for. I don't know if the short's in yet, but that is pretty interesting to see there at that level, around that 18.8. Pretty important number. Nvidia's still selling off. Espresso coming in hot. Lots of things. Alrighty, here we go. Good morning, Charles. I'm away from my levels here, right? I'm away from previous day low. I'm away from overnight low. I like this as a short idea, but I'm not going to take it. I think it's a good reason. It's a big opening range, absolutely. Like I would have liked to have taken that if this was like a little tighter range down here, and then taken an opening range breakout to the VWAP. But I see a delta divergence here, right? You can see price made new highs, delta made a lower high. This probably could rotate back down into here, so I'm going to wait. But that's a nice little short opportunity. It's away from my level, so it's a less high probability short, right? But once we started to see this divergence, this wick off here, lower high here, you could have shorted from this higher here and risking, maybe above that wick, a cheap $200 per contract. You would have been up 290, so you would have been able to be at break even and or trail it, and then now have been out. So it was basically a risk-free short on a delta divergence, but now it looks like it's just going to keep pushing up. I am not really looking. It's dangerous to short a market that was short so heavily overnight. I kind of believe that there's going to be a bid that gets caught up in here. And Nasdaq's relatively strong compared to, you can see the S&Ps did not give you the same kind of breakout this morning so far. I mean, it popped up and failed and now made new lows. Russell is middle of its opening range, and S&P is also same, and then NQ is over the opening range. If Nvidia can hold its pre-market low and then start to bounce, let's see what Microsoft's doing. Microsoft's catching a bit of a bid. Apple bidding up a little bit. I mean, if Nvidia catches a bounce here, then I think this could continue to go upside, recover some of what happened on the overnight session. Markets a lot of times just don't like to do what happened on the overnight. It kind of likes to cause max pain for overnight traders. What's up, Jofi? How we doing? Overhead resistance is 18,825. Right? So basically VWAP. So there could be some good reaction off of VWAP. We do have this previous day low, so maybe we get like a delta divergence up here at the previous day low, and I could look to short that down. I am not necessarily convinced that the shorts are totally in, even though the sell-off all night was there. It's just very interesting. Like if this gets up over this previous day low into VWAP, it's not that I'm shorting VWAP, it's that I might be shorting that overnight low. I mean that previous day low. So I'm going to be watching that. But if it doesn't get there and does what it's doing now, then this is what you consider right. Somebody was on YouTube yesterday. I forgot his name, but Bamboo Trades, I think his name was. He came in and he said, "Oh, this is a bear flag. This is a bull flag." And I was like, "Hey, man, well, I'm good, Jofi. I'm good. I'm having a good day. I haven't done anything yet, but I'm having a good day so far. Dropped myself at school. We're here. We're trading. Any day we can come on the charge, trade, provide some value. It was a good day." But I think Bamboo was mentioning this is a bull flag. This looks like a bull flag. This looks like a bear flag. And I showed him. I went back and back and back. And every time it was like a flag type, you would get this manipulation, breakout, failure. And I kind of think that's what got. I think Charlie yesterday took a break at 900 or 800. Was it? It was 900, right? Took a breakout at 900. And he was just one candle too early because it was just pre-manipulation. So if you're watching for manipulation, something like that just happened there. If you get another move, then maybe that next move is the non-manipulation. It's the actual true move. So the NASDAQ, I don't know, more so than any other thing that I've traded, has that first manipulation move, then go to do what it wants to do, right? So if this is going to be the manipulation to take us short, we missed it, but there still could be that one more move, which I would anticipate to get up into that 25 and then to fail to roll down. And then realistically, if it's going to be that first manipulation, fail the breakdown, that'll be another sweep of a low then to rotate us and continue us on. So there is two different directions here that could be there. And also a break of 825 probably. A break of 825 pushes us up to 844, which is basically 850. I'd say it pushes us to 44 to 48. And then through that, there's a bigger gap up to like probably 18.9. I mean, I have 18.891 as my key level, but if it does get that high up, I'd say, right here, if we break out, this could be that key, top end before we get to 900. So those are your regular day type of movement. We don't have economic data here. Right, today is all white folder, nothingness, right? If I just switch this impact to 2 stars, all you have is Fed speech and then crude later and Bostic speech. Tomorrow you have GDP growth rate at 7:30. That'll give you some some algo movement and some liquidity and volatility. So we'll see what happens tomorrow. But today, realistically, barring any news, if you accept into this red box, at like above this red line here and start to rotate in and hold above VWAP, I'd say that level there, this key level up into from 91 up to 900 is probably a realistic upside end. But also previous day highs is not that far off from there too. So it would accept into here, then start to rotate. If we reject the previous day low and start to continue downside, you would have to try to accept into another range, which would be the next level below us is that super tight range from the beginning of May, like May 20th, the beginning of the like last week. This super tight consolidation, right here, this level here that I'm looking at. If you watch that level there, that's right where we're sitting above, right? If we sell off through the low, this is the support you have, that tight consolidation. And if we reaccept into here, I think that support below us at 18,738 probably acts as a major support level. So if it doesn't consolidate into here with no news, with no new information, with just overnight selling, just continuing to sell, I don't know how much further you have down below 739, but if you do break 739, then there could be a decent sell in. So that's just a matter of if that wall breaks. So just watch that level. If we do accept below this morning's overnight low and down into these areas here, be mindful of how tight that consolidation was prior, right? And how important this was and how indecisive it was here. If we could just flush right through it, then that would give you a really good indication that the price is going to continue to sell off. But I think ultimate low, 687, realistic low, 739. And then overhead, like I said, we're kind of approaching into overnight lows. Previous day lows, which is here, which is that 820, 819, 820. And then through that, you have 824, which is that VWAP currently. And then overhead, you have that 44. And then I think 91 is probably that normal upside high, right? So that's just going to be your normal kind of day if that's what happens. So I don't have it's a difficult answer there, Charlie. I don't have I'm looking to short, I'm looking to long idea. I like to let this market tell me which way it's going to go. And usually when we open on an overnight low, I like longs better. But right now, you can see that was a really nice, big, expansive opening range candle. And then we've gotten really nothing since. So we've been sort of flat. And let's see what, Delta is pushing heavy downside, trying to push back up, still not pushing up down here. So you are getting the divergence. So if I get up into my 1820, 18820, 18824. Remember yesterday I was talking about this. That was my area where I was interested in getting long, right? So if we never got there. I never ended up taking the long, right? But this was that key level there. What happens later on in the day when I actually get an opportunity to take the trade? I waited till it got all the way in here. We sat on that level. It acted as support, and I took the long up into there. So what we're looking at today is the opposite side of that. This is that 824 level. So if we push up into it, will it act as resistance? I would be very interested in a sell at 24 up here, especially if we get a delta divergence or some sort of indication that it's going to turn around, right? Well, Russell is selling off pretty good already. S&P's is holding below opening range. So we might not actually get up there, but I'm looking for that. That's where I'm looking to get a short. If I don't. But I'm not going to take it unless it gets up here. So we are pushing up. That's nice. Hopefully we get there. This would be a nice divergence, even though it's kind of just acting the same. It's just pushing up into that area, just well below here. It's not aggressive buyers. And if we see the trade of 8 chart here, we'll watch to see if we get any of those divergence dots to populate. We are currently sitting at 260,052. So we're up 10,000 on this account. And then on the other account, I think it's only 600 and change. 722 on that account. So sitting over 10,000. The target goal on the 250 is 15,000. So we're just shy of 5,000. I want to see if I can get up into that range. It just needs to get up there, which it might not based on these tweezer tops, this manipulation candle to the high side. The key level being 95, 795. So Delta still holding lower. Price still trying to push higher. So we are working it. I need to get up to that previous day low. It'll be nice that the VWAP's overhead. It'll add that extra layer of rejection. I'm not going to set a limit order up there. I always like to stop into my order. I don't know. That's just, it's not really great as far as fill is concerned. But I make sure that I'm getting into the market as it's coming my way, so I could just catch it that direction. Limit orders are great, especially if you're trading equities, because limit orders, there we go, that's a push up over our level. But you do see Delta starting to get aggressive, so I want to watch what happens at VWAP. It's kind of burning right through VWAP. All right, that 724 got hit, so I'm going to go right here, stop sell 3, right down through that level. Very strong push through the VWAP. Still a lower high in Delta. Oh, wow. We closed up here. Well, so here's kind of the battle, right? Nvidia is kind of creeping up some. Yeah, if we hold up here and don't fail this, then this is going to probably just continue to rotate. As I mentioned, up into that range. I think 91, you'll probably run into a lot of resistance here at 91.50. 44s, right? I said 44s. So we're kind of approaching that 44. So 44, 45, right where we're at right now is that next level that I was interested in for an overhead resistance. But I think hopefully we could fail this VWAP area and just melt completely off. I have my order set. If that's going to be a failed breakout, right? That's exactly what I like to play. Failed breakouts. We break out. Boom. Oh, gosh. We're going to accept. We're going to get buyers in here. We're going to get heavy longs. And then we're just going to melt them off. And then that's usually when I get a fast move down through my level. I usually would like to see this start to give a little bit of a rising wedge type pattern here. So I let it sit up here for like 1 to 15 minutes. If it gets up higher, then it's hard to take the short through the low because a lot of times that'll be the retest bounce. But if it sits here just right where we're at, then I can still leave my order out there and let it do its thing. So I'm going to let it do its thing. So cumulative delta, you can see rising price. Delta still making lower highs, but there's a chance that this high here breaks here. How do I get rid of this? There we go. What? There we go. have given some reprieve here. Now it's holding above VWAP, holding on top of this 24 level. It's not using that as a rejection point. It's really using, I mean, I liked the long off that low, right? I mentioned that earlier. So it's hard to give this short from that previous day low. That's why I stop in and I don't limit in, right? Because the reason I don't limit, S&P's is catching a bit of a pump right now. So I'm going to be watching that. I feel like we're going to accept into yesterday's range and then rotate up. Delta made new high now over this high. Still hasn't quite made a new high over this initial breakout. I think that it's probably going to accept. I really wanted this long from the opening range perspective. It just needed to be, the opening range needed to be much tighter and or deeper, maybe like a first initial push down and then the buy. But that just didn't give me that opportunity to get in there. You know, for it to just open and bounce and buy, you can't take that, especially with that heavy selling on the pre-market session. But I did mention, because of that pre-market selling, markets don't really like to get, you know, that to happen. The reason this 44 level is so important, I'll just show you this again. 8, there we go. I'll make sure I'm on the right screen. I have to flip around. So you can see this gap here, right there. This is the NVIDIA earnings, then the close, and then actually this is NVIDIA earnings. Yeah, this is NVIDIA earnings. I'm fairly certain Wednesday, May 20th. Yeah, and then we closed down here, and then we gapped open the next day. And so the bottom end of that gap really is up here, but we came down and wicked this, and this would support that 44 level. So usually I use this level here as a pretty important level up into 50, right? Because of this gap, not because, you know, it's the gap is important. The gap's been filled. That's whatever. It's not trying to fill that gap, but that is an important level. That is where it has happened. NVIDIA currently is trying to reaccept into the pre-market range. It flushed that low and now is rotating back higher. To short NVIDIA is crazy. I think that's what people are thinking. I think really you see possibly just wants to continue on. If it does break down through the lows again, then we'll see what happens. But right now, it's 4 minutes till the top of the hour. I'm kind of hoping that I don't get triggered into this, so I'm going to get out. My rules state that I can't trade. Until the hourly close. So I'm going to just wait till the hourly close. I don't want to get manipulated in or out. If it comes down and shoots me out, then so be it. I'm okay with that. If it comes down and just blows through this before 10 o'clock, I'm okay. I don't want to be here and then, you know, at 8:57, 8:58, I get triggered in on a little wick, and then it bounces because of the 10 o'clock of the 9 o'clock hourly manipulation. So I want to let that hourly close, see if the hourly is going to close above or below our previous day low, and then from there I can make a good decision on, okay, is this going to deny the previous day's range, or are we going to reaccept back down and to lows, or are we going to accept the previous day range? But that 844 level is wicking off, so are we going to close below that or above that is pretty important too. Yeah, so this like 840 to 850. This level, we have to see if price is going to close either in here, above this level, or below here. You know, that's what I want to see. And if we accept below it, that's a nice little wick. So we got about a minute and a half. About a minute and a half. I would anticipate this level holding pre-market. 1 minute remaining in the hour. You can see how the 24 level is, this yellow zone is acting as support, right? Like I said, be flat for hourly closes. And you can see the delta is just aggressively wanting to sell. So I find that the selling is much more aggressive today than the buyers, right? But the buyers are holding us up. You can see less aggressive buying, pushing price up. So these aggressive sellers trying to push price down, and the price isn't breaking yet. So just be cautious with that. I don't know what really to make of that. Is exactly. I'm going to try and figure out the interpretation of that. But if it does start to give up on a sell, then I would expect the sell to come in a lot harder than these buys. The buys will probably stair step their way up if it continues to do the same style, right? Because these are very aggressive sellers. All right, so we are now hourly closed. We closed above that 30 level. I'm still going to look to short this through here. I think this is going to be still a valid trade through the 19 level, but I'm going to put it up at 15. This one's going to be a little bit more aggressive. So that's what I'm looking at there. If it cracks through 24, that should give us the ability to fall through. And then I am below this trend line, really. So there is a high volume node here at 15, so I could get just triggered in and bounced out of, but I'm just playing the failure of my level. Russells are trying to break the high of the day, which is interesting. So that's going to be something that we're going to be minding. I don't know what that is. It's useless. To me, it feels like if 844 breaks, 844, if this upper level breaks, then I think you get acceptance and hold up there probably for the rest of the session, at least for the time being. I think it's just going to be like one of those grinding, trending days to the high side. And then, like I said, 891. If 44 breaks, you're looking at 91. All right, maybe that'll be a little manipulation there. That'll help us out. Let's see if we can roll over and melt off fast here. I'm going to short this through the previous day low. If it goes, Nvidia's starting to sell some, so let's see what happens. Hey, if we trigger in, I'll run the sirens. Why not? We haven't done that in a bit. See if we get this thing down here. We're going to run this. Oh, yeah, there we go. Run the sirens. See if it'll trigger us in. See if it'll trigger us in here. Come on down. Come on down. If it breaks through our previous day low, I should flush pretty heavy here. So that's why I ran the sirens, gave you a little alert here, woke you up some. Definitely looking to see if this will go. Feels heavy. Feels heavy. Feels like it's the right move. I will. Well, we did get a lower delta. Let's see what delta is doing over here. Bounce right off that support level there. If we crack this trend line, I'd say rotate right to opening range high. Should trigger us in. Should get us to opening range high. Like I said, I feel like the sellers are much more aggressive than the buyers in this market right now. So if there does become a sell, I think the sell happens faster than the buying pressure does. But if we do start to catch a bid here and hold above VWAP, then it is what it is, right? But I'm shorting this 824 level. That 824 level acting very supportive here, right? You like that, right? I'm running them. I had them for a while. I turned them off. I haven't used them. I had to adjust the volume levels and stuff like that on them. So now it seems like it's a more comfortable area. I ran the sirens just to alert you if there's going to be a trade or get close to entry. I didn't actually enter. No entry yet, but I am. It's flirting with the idea here. So if this does dump here, if we start to get a nice little heavy push, I will watch the delta and see if we can get this thing to push. But it's holding this support, right? Support. Maybe we're one touch of this too soon. Maybe we get up here, but it seems like the sellers really want to come in here, right at this 830 level. 844 I said was that high end. So I am willing to take this trade. It is my setup around a key level. We got a lower delta. We have a failed break to the high side. We've had a downtrend, right? So we are still going in the direction of the trend. So we're going to look to see if this does give up this previous day low. If it fails to accept into yesterday's range, then potentially down into that overnight low again. And then you can look for longs down there again if you really want to. But based on yesterday's price action, that level is really important. You just got a delta divergence firing there. So you look to see if this will falter. And as I mentioned, you could see support, sold off. So there we go. So it's breaking now. There we go. Delta's not coming with us. If this breaks, I bet Delta goes. I'm going to get short here. So I am not filled yet. There we go. I'm going to be up over here. This is going to be a larger size. I'm using VWAP as a stop. Wow. Okay. I got bottom ticked. Got bottom ticked on that. Alrighty. A little bit of a failed breakdown there for sure. And we're stopped out there for that one. We're taking a little bit of a bigger risk on this this account here. Yeah, so we stopped out on that one. It was a bigger loser than we wanted to take, but it's all right. This one we have a little bit more room to let this breathe a little bit. It seemed like it wanted to give us our failed breakdown, but immediately snapped right back. So that was what we had there, but it seems like we're still heavy, so we're still safe. Still safe here. Obviously, we got manipulated out of this one. I still have a little bit of room. I'll take the short here one more time and let this thing go. There's that sell. So we were just one little tiny bit too early there on that, maybe. We're seeing if this will flush through this level here. I want to get down at least to this 798 to 800 level again. If we can get down to 800, hopefully we can allow this to go a bit. It's holding. Let's see what we got on our delta. Seems heavy, right? Look at that breakdown, but look at that Very manipulative candle there at 14, 15. I think we're still safe. Delta's not following through as heavy as I would like, but I want to get down into this yellow zone here, down at that 800. Looks like it wants to get there, but it's holding this, whatever this VWAP is here, because I feel like VWAP is overhead. I don't know what that line is, so just ignore that line there. Even though it's bouncing off of it, I'm not sure what it is. There it is. It just repopulated. Alrighty, so we're just managing this. We'll see if we can get this to go a bit. I would like to use that VWAP as my stop again, because if it gets back above it, I think we'll be stopped out. Come on, flush now. Just based off this whole setup here, seems realistic that it'll go back to 24. But that is a nice pop from there. Ah, damn. Not quite getting the follow through on the move that I like. So bullishness is still there. We really wanted this down into that opening range high. All right, so we're stopped out. Max loss limit on these combines here. So gave back what we made yesterday and then some. So we're just gonna now shut that down. But we're still good on this one. We're down 1,000, but we still have a lot of room on this to make some good trades. So we're just gonna be patient. Let this thing play out a little. I oversized a little bit in the combine. These normally would be about, I probably would have one more good trade in me if this was my fully what's it called? My XFAs, if this was them, then I would potentially still be able to take another trade. But right now we're not. When I'm in combine mode, I do max loss more than I do on the other days. So just be mindful of that. I oversize a bit. So not that it was a bad trade, not that it was bad management. It was just worth my, it's worth my risk on those trades. And then I limited this risk down quite a bit by pulling my stop to VWAP. And if it fails again, then potentially we'll take it. But realistically, looks like it doesn't want to quite go. We did the breakdown retest now. If it does it again, we're back above VWAP. We flushed through that low. Now we're looking to push back higher. But Delta's still flat. Still flat. So it's kind of just a manipulative day. Kind of goes a little bit aggressive on that. Get down below 19. Let's see what happens below 24. I may front run it up to 24. So I'll go above 20. Front run 20. See what we can catch on this. This is going to show you what size can do. S&P rejected 52, 89, 50 once, twice, 3 times, looking to roll over. Russell giving you some high whipping tails. NVIDIA does try to accept back into pre-market range here, still holding support at 1124.81, so that's important too. Microsoft is catching a bit of a bid. Apple, NVIDIA, Tesla. So this little bit shows you the ability to kind of mitigate that risk some. I gave it a little bit bigger of a size on, like I said, on the Top Step X account. I'm willing to try and take that. You saw how that broke down. I mean, everything kind of acted exactly how I wanted it to, and then it just failed, right? So the trade was valid. Everything was there that was valid except for the follow through. So we just didn't get the follow through on it, and we stopped ourselves out and locked ourselves out for the day. It is what it is, but we kind of understood that risk on that, so it's not like I took a bad trade or anything like that. So we're still okay in the combine, still up a couple $100 on each of these accounts, locked out. But actually, these ones are basically even because that was up 1,000. Yeah, so they're all up a touch. This one's still up just shy of 9,000 now because we just took that $1,100 loss. But we're going to look and see what happens with this. I'm going to give this a chance to, I'm going to get rid of all these exit positions because I don't know if there is some. So I just make sure I flatten them. NVIDIA catching a bit of a bid. The 44 level coming back into play. So 44.50, right? Pretty much what we just ticked off on there. 44.50 is the high tick. If that rejects again, then I would guess that this still looks good, right? Breakdown, retest that trend line, key level, value area high. Delta creeping higher. We are live. We're waiting. Took that short. Took it oversized a little bit. Waiting to see what happens. Nothing doing here. Yeah, it's a tough day for sure. Realistically, like I said, I like this a lot, but then it just comes back and fails on me, so shit happens. I'm gonna look to see if I can catch it again. Just there's a lack of follow through. Like I mentioned earlier, these are way more aggressive sellers than there are buyers. Like the buyers just kind of step in and just grind us up, but then somehow they pop. It's just like a manipulative environment. The last few days. Yesterday we did a really good job of being patient, making our trade really late in the day. Today I took 2 shots at it, a little bit oversized on the top step accounts, and we maxed out loss on that one, but it's okay. It's not like I take my combines a little bit more aggressive than I do my XFAs. So oversized, and I will max loss because I'm looking to kind of not linger in them too long. This is just kind of grinding. Like I said, that 44.50 level, if that goes, then up to 79 here, and that 91, I think, up there. But it's just not pushing through, right? There's another divergence here that you're going to see. I need the price to get up there. $38. If I can get some sort of manipulative top here, I will try to short over the levels. So like I said, this trade here wasn't a bad trade, right? You could see that actual follow through. We got that really nice push down. And then what happens, Roll over failure. But it's a good thing that I moved my stop, right? Mitigate my loss here, cut it, hit sell. Like the day trade professor likes to say, just hit sell. Get yourself out of that position and then look for that next entry. And 44.50 is just lingering here. It's butting its head right up against that level. If it wants to break and go, it could be a nice, pretty good pop from here if it's going to pop and hold this. But I keep saying that the aggressiveness is just not there on the buy side. It's just the buy side. The buyers are just stronger. NVIDIA is strong. $73 long. I like that. Delta's still just making that flattening out on the top side here. Just feels like it's heavy enough to get us to push down, back down into that low there. So I took this area here. You did get a delta divergence there, that pop on the candle. So I'm looking to see if I can at least get a pullback to VWAP. Take a little bit back of this loss that I had before. If we do get a follow through, I'll get to break even. And if it wants to break that high, I'll be out. There's that pull. I'm going to go to the high of this. Only risk that much. See if I can get down into VWAP. The price just does not want to follow through today. Yeah, we're out on that. Look at that manipulation there. Crazy. Crazy. I'm just going to sit on my hands now for a while. Let this thing dance a bit. There it goes. There it goes. Couple candles too soon. Yeah, very chop city day. See if we can get down through this 24 level. Came back, retested the breakout of this overnight downtrend. Get down below 19s. Aggressive sells on that below 24. Let's see if we get down below 24. So that idea short at the top was good. Yeah, that's really where I want to be. Let's see. You shorted the top? Oh, that's great. I did too, except I stopped myself out. So I should have been just fine and in profit. And now I'm shorting my original level and see if I can get that to follow through some. In short from 35, good. I like the shorts from the high. That was my initial idea there. I liked that idea from that top end there. Good stuff, Charlie. Good stuff, Jofi. I am deciding to chase a bit. Here in short from 35. Let's see what that stop is. Yeah, that's probably a better stop. Alrighty. Let's see if we can get down through this pre-market, the previous day low, or if it's going to hold. Short from 35, guys. Good work, everybody. Well done. Well done. Well done, guys. I'm just chopping myself up a bit, so give me a day. 3,000. Yeah, I'm going to get myself out of this. I'm done there. Good job there, Jofi. Good work. Good work. Hell yeah. Good job. I liked the short from the high here, and now it's bouncing off that 34. Now it just cracked 44, so the long is definitely in here. I think the long has a really good chance to get up to 91 from that break of that 44. So just be cautious. If you were short, I would probably look to, hopefully you were out and done, but I only have a little bit of distance left to draw down on this. Drew myself down some. Today was a choppy day for me. I just want to get back in tomorrow and be able to trade. I'm glad I locked myself out on the top step. I mean, I drew myself down, so it doesn't really matter. But watch this blue line be a target on the high side. Well done, Joe. Well done. I liked this short here. This would have been a really good just to hold this a little bit longer. I mean, I got myself out. Should have been, instead of taking that loss, took that bit of a winner and then been able to take it off at VWAP. Just didn't let it breathe. That's just on me. I pulled it back just a quick, but I was kind of anticipating something like this happening based on the way the lack of sellers came in. My thought process on the day was long from the opening range. Hell yeah. Strong. Yeah, so my thought was here, break out of this level, take it to VWAP. That would have been a beautiful move. However, we never got that opportunity early on in the day to take that. Now I've just been fighting the short and chopping myself up a bit. So it's all right. We're good. Still in okay shape. Just an annoying day for me personally. Chopping ourselves today. We're down. We have 2,000 left to draw down. Not that I'm trying to get myself back, but I want to see what happens here. I did short the lows of this area twice, so I chased it a bit. If this is going to be a failed breakout, then it's a manipulation. Does it rotate back down below previous day lows? You know, that's the idea here. We'll see what happens on that. Like, look at that. If this candle gets canceled out, that's definitely a bearish sign. I did mention that 44 probably holds though, so watch it come back into 44.50 and then maybe bounce from there potentially. So I'd say that that's going to act as support right there. That was that breakout point. 75% long. Delta making new lows. Price not quite getting there. Let's see. Does it fail 44? I doubt it. I'm going to wait. S&Ps. Just thinking through what it could be here. Like I said, sort of middle of nowhere. I would like failure of 44s. However, I don't think it's quite going to get there. I think we're going to use that as support, right? You can see bouncing here. Buyers are in control. Unfortunate for that. I wanted that buy from the morning. I should have just took it on this account because I really, really liked it. Opening, just notate that on your charts. Opening print. Basically, we opened on overnight lows. Every time we tend to do that, we tend to just give a hard bounce to the high side. Or the other way around. If you open on overnight highs, technically tends to sell off. We do have a little bit of a divergence there. I will, if it does decide to dip below 44, I'll take a small position on it. Risk a lot less than before. Maybe we get a blow off high here. There's that pop. Delta didn't make new highs. So let's see if that's going to be a failed upside push or it's going to be a good move. No. Not going to take that yet. High volume node here at 64, 65. So there is that area of interest. If it rotates back down through 63, probably comes down to 57, 54s, and then back down to value area. There's 46, 44. So interesting to see. You can see those volume nodes here as well. I'll sell that level there below 60. If we get below here, I'll add. Nvidia looking to push into yesterday's like high or close. So if that could reject the close, then potentially this rotates. $79.50. Interesting level there as well, but also right here 74. 74. All right. So kind of just talking through everything from before. I'd set a break of 44.50 gets us up to probably 91s, but 900's a target. So just kind of just watch it. Unfortunately for me, I just chopped up a little bit on those two short ideas. It was definitely an appropriate idea around the levels. You did get a good volume push to the downside and then just failed it. So that really got us failed there. I tried it twice on Top Step, got it chopped. So we are locked out on this. And then this one I tried it a second time here. I should have never took this loss up top. I should have let this had the run down and been, up a bit on this trade there. But that happens. I know Jofi took it in. Charlie took the short from that high there, which was great. You were able to pretty much see that pullback happen, take that short, and then pull it to the downside, which was a really, really nice move. Below that volume node there. This needs to be up at 85. I'll add two more down below this. There we go. That's nice. I like that manipulation there. Hopefully that'll give us a nice push down. That's kind of what happened here when I stopped myself out. I'll add two and then try and take two off probably right here. Oh, see if we can take two of you out. If I can get this to sell down, I'm probably not going to add. Not at all. Wow. I said 91s, right? 91s. I'm going to risk to the level that I liked. Just sitting here waiting to see if this will sell off. Giving it a little breathability here. Trading this account a little aggressive compared to, like I said, the other accounts, the funded accounts. I trade a little bit more defensive. If this is going to whip this high, I'm going to be out. So high volume node here at 63. So if we can crack through our entry, it should give us a nice little push down. Yeah, I want to be out of this. Doesn't want to go. Let it go. If it's going to stop me out, it's going to stop me out. It's all good. There we go. All right, so we are definitely going to start to size down even more. Just chopping ourselves up on a day like today. We're not seeing it good, so we're going to just kind of chill. Hopefully, like yesterday, we were able to see the chop and see the manipulation there. Today, not so much. Not able to stay out. Here we go. It's going to go now that I stopped myself out again. Timing is shit. Yeah, I'm going to flatten out. I'm done with this. All right. No more executions around here. Away from my range. That's what happens when you trade around your range. I do still anticipate this to get up to 91, so I'm just going to wait. Let it be there. That's just over trading at its best. So I'm not going to, I want to recognize it now, give back pretty much half of my profits. So we're going to not trade that anymore. Alrighty. let's just wait and see what happens. Just a choppy Wednesday, a low day today. Everything I kind of mentioned was going to happen is happening, and I just did not. Once you get behind the 8 ball, then you start doing stupid stuff. So, coffee. Alrighty. Thank you. I'm good, yeah. Later, Jove. Always good to be back. Good to see you. Good to watch the market dice me up a bit today. I want to see this come up into here. 91. I love that long, man. I'm so annoyed at that. That's the one thing I'm pretty annoyed with, because I really liked this long here. Really, really did. I just didn't have the balls to take it on the open, and it shows because then I'm trying to fade my previous day lows. I talked about reacceptance into the previous day lows. Once the previous day low accepts, you're accepting back into yesterday's range. So now you have yesterday's values to deal with, right? And now you're in this same deal that we had yesterday, right? We had this, lots of interesting information, even down to this purple zone here, right? That purple zone is pretty interesting from yesterday's inventory. We flushed down, we bounced off of this, we're rotating back upside. Yes, we're doing it slower today, but I've just been fighting that trend. So that's kind of just getting duped. Dupery. I need something to tell me an obvious trade, right? Right now, I'm not obvious. I'm far away from levels, far away from zones. That's when I get myself into trouble, right? I say it time and time again. Today, I just did it just because, right? Stupidly. 18.9. I think that anywhere from 1891 to 18,900 would be the area for it to decide to take a turn. I just think that that's a good resistance level. I did mention that it kind of probably grinds all the way up to that level today. If it accepts into yesterday's range, though, we could push even up into that 910 area before it decides to give you a sell-off. So personally, obviously, I'm not seeing it well from the chop that I've been doing. I mentioned earlier, I like this long from the overnight low, and everything else I should have done was, once you get that long, just start to look in that direction, right? Until it tells you to it's going to turn around, then you're not going to get it. I mean, it's getting heavier. And as I mentioned, what's kind of tricked me today is the delta being super, super aggressive on the sells, right? Every sell has just been very aggressive on the delta. The buyers haven't really been that aggressive. It's just been stair-stepping. And then, besides this one candle and this one here, they push up, but not like crazy aggressive on the delta. So to me, anytime I saw a sell idea come in, it's tricking me because I'm getting that indication that, okay, the heavy sellers are going to step in and then the buyers are going to give up, which they're not, So try not to get tricked, try not to get duped. You lose money sometimes. Just do your best to avoid those levels. Watch that 79. This feels heavy, but at the same time, it could just pop and explode out. We do have the volume point of control right here, right where we're at right now. So up to the 77, 79 area could be an interesting area for it to run into more resistance, but Still looking like it wants to go buy side. Nvidia still pushing up into the high end of yesterday's high of day, and then even into pre-market highs. Yeah, I mean, 18.9, like I said, 18.9 up to this purple zone. That was an interesting area from yesterday. If you just look to the left, you can see 18.9. We consolidated between 18.9 and 18.910 for a while overnight. And then yesterday when we got to closing time, where are we at? Right there. You broke the 18.9 and then you absolutely ripped to the high side, right on the into the close. But the rest of the day, you were using that level 18.9. That was where you tried to play your breakout yesterday, and then you needed to wait one more iteration before you played that breakout. Then it kind of continued on, but it held in that consolidation. So I wouldn't be surprised if the bottom end of that 900 to 910 acts as resistance. And if you accept into it, then you probably stay choppy in that range, right? Same deal here. I think that's really kind of realistic. But at this point, it'll probably melt off because I've given up on the shorts. Absolutely. If you could use some day trading coffee. It is a great coffee company. It'll fuel your P&Ls, not to the negative direction, because I didn't have enough today, I guess. I didn't have my short squeeze espresso fast enough or quick enough to catch my short squeeze there. Yes, very good. I like the plug there, Charlie. I appreciate it. If you are interested, you could always use my code. It's scrolling on the bottom of the screen at Policing Pips. You don't have to use at sign, just Policing Pips for 15% off all your orders at daytradingcoffeeco.com. Thank you, Charlie, for the plug. It is a good time for good coffee. It's always a good time for good coffee. If you're up, if you're down, it's always a good time for some caffeination. Bullish on caffeination at all times. I am going to go and use one of the Top Step email codes they sent out for the $29 combine. So I'll do that. I'll buy one more. We could have now 5 XFAs, so I need one more anyway to get up to that 5. So let's take one. 5 express funded accounts is the code. We'll get ourselves one more combine here, and we'll start trading that. $29 a month. Hopefully we just get that done past that. Now we'll have the 5th combine here. And we'll look for some good trades up until 11. It's 5 minutes till 10, so we have one more account here that we're going to just mess with. Going to wait on the depth of market. refresh temporarily deactivated, which is nice. However, $23.17. There it is. That's how fast it takes. You buy it, you wait a minute, it's there. Okay? So if you are into a new combine, here's a new combine for you. Let's see if we can make our daily profit target or at least some bit of money on this account to step ourselves into the right direction. Alrighty, just clicking through here. Alrighty. We are here with NVIDIA, just still trying to break through pre-market highs. 5 minutes till 10 o'clock. Let's see what happens at 10. See if we get any sort of price action up into that 90 to 900 to 910. That 20-point range there, I think, could be an interesting area here. I drew this little blue line up here, but let's make it a little bit more of a, let's see. I'll draw a little circle. That's where I'd be interested in this price getting to. Very flat price action, very low volume. There is a chance that it does explode in either direction because of the volume here, but let's see what happens. I want to see if 44 will act as that bounce point for one more time up to the high side, or if it's going to act as the flush bounce, flush, then hold as resistance, then short from there. So no matter what happens around here, it's going to be breakdown. $44 up to $63. Not much going on. Like I said, it's kind of slow price action coming into 10 o'clock. Let's see what happens at 10. See if we can get any sort of a volume inflection or something to come in here and start getting buyers or sellers to step in. Realistically, from that trade of the day was that opening print. Really, that's it. It just immediately stepped off and the bids caught right immediately. You could see the winding down. I really wanted to take the long through that 70 level right there, and I just did not do it. Unfortunately, because I was waiting for that 1 minute candle to close. And then what do you know? This is that full 1 minute candle there. Really just need to be a little bit aggressive on that idea, because I always find that if I can get a pattern like that coming into the opening trade, that opening range is likely to be the bottom of the day. Mm-hmm. 2 more minutes till this hourly. I want to see what happens up in that area there, that 91. And then also you can see that's a little bit of a wick high there. Delta is super flat, but it pushed down, right? You got this big push up here. Then you really sold off hard, but there was lack of selling, right? Price is still holding up, pushing down on Delta, price staying flat sideways. We're just not getting, it's like That's why I got duped. Like I said early, I got duped on these. Even this super aggressive, and then look at that huge sell off on like very very aggressive selling, and then you get nothing, no follow through whatsoever on these moves. So it's kind of why my strategy didn't work today. I could have recognized it, and I mean I just oversized a bit on that one. I'm willing to risk it on that one trade, trying to take one or two good trades a day, pretty much on these combines, even in a regular trading day. But I would like to see this maybe come up to 79 one more time. It is now 10 o'clock. We got the opening market here. Let's see what we can do. Maybe the last hour on stream here, we can get this account up big enough to where we can do. Let's see if we can get going here. $91.25, my next level up overhead. That's the bottom end of this yellow circle, but I do anticipate that we could get into there, and that could be where the real sellers start to step in. But as I mentioned, I mean, my delta tricking me every time into thinking, right now we had a big push up, price pushed up, delta pushed up, price stayed up here, delta melted, and then just nothing, right? Flat delta. If you get any sort of pop in delta, then price is probably going to pop 79 to 91, 79 to 900. So maybe we'll get a breakout of 77, 79 up into 900. This is very choppy. You got to wait till it picks a direction before you decide to get in something here, unless you have a really good idea. Got a purchase here from long-term Harlow Brand. Very nice. Beautiful Top Step. Gonna have a mobile app. That's gonna be dangerous. Nvidia's starting to curl downside. I'm going to shoot one shot on this one. No clear direction. I just want to short this and get a quick little pullback to VWAP maybe. Just based on the flat price action here, giving it up. That momentum to the high side, slowing down quite a bit. Gonna shoot my shot at one time. With Nvidia starting to curl that direction. Nah, it's just really not doing anything. That's very, very tight, very shitty price action. You see Delta starting to creep up, actually. So maybe the Delta's telling us that there's going to be some buyers stepping in here. But not quite. There's a divergence there. Price pushing downside. And I'm in. Take a quick hit on this. I'll take one off. Nope. I'll go to even on that. Take a couple $100 on this. $100 on that. All right, so let's see if we can get this thing to rotate down now. Oh, yeah. Get through 44.50. There we go. Got down through 44.50. So we secured 200 and change on this. 260. We're going to just go candle to candle now on this. A nice little short on the idea there. I feel like it could definitely roll over quite a bit. But at the same time, this could just act as that strong resistance at 44.50. Like I said, there we go. We're out. It tickled me out. 254. So started this combine off with a nice little 250. Quick short, really looking to just catch a quick little move there on two contracts. So we caught how much on that? We caught from 855 to 848, so just shy of 10 points. I was possibly looking to take one off there and then leave the rest. So if we took off one there, that would have been, so I said I shorted from 55. Half of that at 44, 4 more points, basically 10 points. So yeah. And then left that one there. So just make the code, I'm going to put it in the chat here for the Top Step. The announcement that they made, it is 5 express funded accounts at checkout. So if you use that, if you go to top, let's see. Click the link here. Let me see something quick because I do have a link for Top Step. So I do want to kind of get some, prove the partnership. So if you use this here, copy link, use this link to get to Top Step, and then also use this code here, 5 express funded accounts, and Damn, there's that sell that I really, really wanted, but I could not hold it because I just want to take my hits. But that was nice. Nice little push. I want to see if we can get, maybe we can get a pop back up to 44.50, see if it'll fail that, and then we could really execute it. But 44.50 gave up, so that's why you get that bigger flush. Instead of taking that one contract off like I wanted to, I trailed down tighter because realistically, that's just, yeah. But if you're using Top Step, click the link in my bio in the conversation in the whatever the title or description of the YouTube video, and then use 5 express funded accounts. Use that code. That'll get you $29 combines for 50Ks. Nah, there's the flush. S&Ps just broke VWAP, or they did break VWAP prior. Right at the VWAP there. I hate that the Top Step X VWAP doesn't populate correctly. There's that 24 bounce, right? 24, this zone acting as that support level could be a nice little bounce spot. I would be mindful of that. See if we can get a delta divergence, see if we can get another secondary touch of it, maybe a flush and then a bounce from there. It's a good area with bids kind of coming. Take one contract long. Through 44.50. So yeah, I cost myself a couple $100 on that but I'm taking that money. I like that bounce. I like that bounce. I do like this to flush this 24. This is where we were trying to short the whole morning. Potentially look to see if it'll go again. Like I mentioned, I shorted this area a few times, once, twice, 3 times to it. I'm flipped to the other end of it. See if it'll catch me a little bit of a snapback. The delta is still heavy. It was doing that before too. Super heavy and then lack of follow through. Super heavy, then lack of follow through. So I'm not convinced, again, on the short side yet. Looking to see if I can get this to kind of rotate. See if this will give us a flush of the low here, or if it's going to hold up on top of VWAP. Heavy delta, price diverging the other direction. But if the delta continues to push heavier and price does break, then that gives you that follow through push idea, right? So you're going to get this breakdown here. You want this to break. I want to see if I can capitalize on this diverging idea of my other ideas not working, trying to kind of work on some stuff here to push it to the high side. NVIDIA is starting to sell some. I mean, it has been selling, but it's pushing right into a pre-market support level. And then yesterday's support level here at $1,133.40. So that should possibly catch a little bit of a bid bounce from there, and then might give us this opportunity to just catch a quick little piece of this too. Watching this. Want to see this either break down or bounce from here. Start to get back into my areas. S&P's rolling. Russell back in the opening range. S&P's looking to approach the top end of its opening range. But like we said early in the day, the NQ is relatively strong compared to everything else. So well above their opening range now. Still could look to short through this 25 because it does look like it's grabbing liquidity there and bouncing. So if it does bounce, then it's good to go for the long. If it flushes through this 19, I think the short could come in heavier. So I will look to short through the previous day low if it gets there. And I'm going to go long through 44.50 if it gets through there. So that's my idea there. I'll sell 2 through that low. And I'll buy 1 out through the top. I'm less convinced on the long side than I am on the short side. That's why I have a single contract on that. Put that 24 level holding. Oop, that's not what I wanted to move. Yeah, NVIDIA looks nice. NVIDIA's, like I said, it was probably going to catch a little bit of a bounce here. This is that yesterday's support level at towards the end of the day. It was resistance, then it turned into support here at 1132.84 up into 1133.50. So this is an area where it may bounce. It may bounce up to like 140, or it could just crack here and flush. If NVIDIA just cracks and flushes, then we do get a big sell-off, I think, in the NQ. So we are holding below the VWAP. I'll sell it through 24. Get rid of that. Seems like it wants to get heavy. Continue on. I'd say that 24 level gives up, then our previous daily level gives up, and then we can push down lower. This was a great short from the top here, but I gave it up. I front ran my level a little bit. I want to see if that previous day low will give up. Not a fan of that bounce. Yeah, I'm going to take that loss on this probably right here. So I don't like that short. Seems like that's just a terrible area to be shorting. 24 is such a strong level. gonna flip. Gonna flip. I'll buy 2 up there. That's what that's going to be. I want to see 44.50 go. If 44.50 could break to the high side, then we're adding on to that. Itchy. I had something stuck in my bracelet thing there. Kind of annoying. See if we can get that above. See if this will squeeze a bit on us. If we can get through 44.50, this should pop. So we're going to get to even there. We're adding 2 above there. Let's see if we can get some out. Up here. Limit sell 1 at the top end of 57. Let's see if we can squeeze this a bit. Didn't really increase risk, right? Added 2, took the break even, and then let's see what happens. If 44.50 doesn't hold, then we're going to be out, right? Short side. That's a great liquidity grab, but also at the same time, I'm trying to work on adding, trying to build into bigger positions for when I do get to that side of it, back into more funded accounts, more size, trying to work on ads, trying to not give back a ton. I don't want to do that. Very interesting there. Delta pushed up with it, so it should still be good to go for the long side. Yeah, that 49, that 50 area. Get through this again, then we'll get tight to break even. If we can get through where the ad was, I'll get to break even. All right, so we're back there. If it does, it does. If it stops me out, it stops me out. If it squeezes now, it should squeeze now. All right. There we go. Push, 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 push. Box, box. 55. All right. So now we're at least covering our cost on that. Let's see if we can get this to push now. If it's going to fail us and stop us out, then it is what it is. But I feel like it should squeeze now, right? You can see how it wants to pop. It wants to pop. It wants to pop. It wants to pop. There it goes. There we pushing it. Good. Basically, there we go. Now we're going to see if we can get this to keep going. Nope. So we're back to basically even. That was a nice little push. Probably is going to squeeze up now based on my idea, but I added a little bit more size on that and took off some of the risk. S&P is now trying to get over the VWAP. If we can come back down, test 44.50, get a higher low here. You got good delta push. Thank you. If you're looking short, I like to enter on the green candle. If you're looking long, I like to enter on the red candle. Kind of weird, but that's the IQ. Yeah, I mean, it's not a bad thing. Not a bad thing at all. There is a larger size at 53 sitting on the ask. 53 sitting on the ask. So I want to see if this will come back down, get below this 44.50 again, and see if I can get back up above. Because I do think 44.50 is the big support. And then up to 68, right? That's up in that area. So let's see. We can get down below 44.50 again, get like a break, retest, break again, see if we can get ourselves a decent mover. I think this is still probably going to continue upside. So that 53 lot just got filled. There's still more size up there. Point of control is still up overhead. That's just kind of me being a little bit tight with it. Should have really given it to break even and then took off the one like I wanted to at 58. So I wanted to take one off at 58, but I trailed this out and I got just wicked out on it. And then now it's moving upside. But we're good. Kind of just trading a little tight today after the lack of follow through on everything this morning. Kind of trading a little crappy. Seeing the market all right. I said that trade in the beginning of the day was the one we wanted. I just didn't get it because it was so quick. It happened right off the jump, and I was just not ready for that off the jump. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to wait for that pullback, and I'm going to see if I can get in on it. I think that this orange zone is a good target for the high side. I'm going to delete it because I just don't like having things on my chart that bother me. We wicked down all the way to pretty much the breakout point of 823, right? 823 right here, almost to that previous day low, and then right back to the highs. So perfect little pop from 24.25. I bottom ticked it for the loss, and now we're back up to the other side. Would have had one contract off there if we would have stuck with our original entry, and it would have been at break even. So this is where we're looking to squeeze it a little bit. So it would have had one off. So that would have been, let's see, we had our trade there was 195 minus 50, 150, 836 was our entry price. Right there, 836 up to 857. If you don't want to do the math, 836 right here, right up to that high. I was going to take one contract off there for 450, and then I had two more on at 55, at 45, right? 44, 50. That's another two, so that's another 300. So just shy of $1,000 that you kind of cost yourself on that, but I'm going to wait for this bounce to come back down to 44.50. See if we can get some sort of bid on that. Just waiting patiently waiting. Bamboo. Yeah, honestly, Bamboo. I'm very malleable. I don't marry any sort of position direction. I kind of let the price action tell me what it wants to tell me. I kind of have gotten myself a bit. I gave myself this opportunity. I wanted to get in here long. Then once I saw that this long came in, I really should have just been noting that this is probably more of a pullback than it is a sell side move. But my strategy came into play here. We got wicked out and we oversized it, and we decided to take that short and a couple times, and then we lost out on that. And then same deal here, Try to take that short through there. Again, now we're at another higher level here. Seems like it's just acting as support now. So now, I took the breakdown again of that level, failed again. So now we'll see if we can get this to either bounce or break from 44.50. So that's really where I'm at here. Everything seems to be pushing to the long side. So if we do get this break again, maybe we do get that bounce. If it breaks and holds, we'll see what the delta is doing. Delta has been tricking me all day. Heavy delta has led to less selling than I would anticipate, but you kind of have, I guess, what you would consider a head and shoulders type deal here. So we could try and short it again through our 24 level and see what happens. But I'm going to wait and see if it'll close below 24 before I'll take the trade. If this fails, I'll go heavy long. We have the euro close. So now we're going to see if this is going to be a bounce or if it's going to break us. Like I said, the heavy delta on the push down, still higher low in delta, still higher low in price. I do have, like I said, a slight little bit of head and shoulders type deal here. I don't think it's going to play per se, but if I do get a close below that 24 level here, down below VWAP, down in this area, then I can consider taking that short one more time. Maybe one of these times it'll work down through here. Otherwise, it'll take another bounce. S&P's is a little heavy. NVIDIA looking to try and crack through this again, but it could bounce from this level one more time. Does this crack? Does this crack this time? Gold sold off. Thank you, Bamboo Trader. Like I said, I appreciate your interaction on a day-to-day basis now over there on the YouTube. If you're interested, head over to tradecaster.com. You could sign up for the link in the chat. It's a free 7-day trial, and then after that, it's free to view my room. You just lose out on some of the other features of the the functionality of it and some of the paid rooms in here. But we do have great conversation on a day-to-day basis. The chat in there is, so if you hear me talking, I'm talking to the chat in the Tradecaster. So go over there, make a free account, sign up, interact with our frequent traders in there and see what we have to offer. Absolutely. Today is not one of the best days. Yesterday you saw how we were able to mitigate taking crappy trades and really limit it and then wait till the end of the day and took our really good trade at our level. Today we chopped up a bit, so we're looking to just kind of continue to trade, see what happens up until 11 o'clock here, and then go from there. I do feel like this may be just another bounce play here. We do have Delta starting to creep up, starting to get buyers here aggressively at the VWAP. Can we crack this? I love this short, man. I'm such a short bias trader. It's amazing, especially in these highs. But to me, unfortunately, I have just got chopped on the short side a little bit today. So we're going to get rid of that. I love it to the short side. If it breaks this level, then previous day lows goes, and previous day lows goes, then we can really capitalize on the rotation back to the overnight low, or at least into the 795s. very balanced, very choppy sideways action. Try to avoid taking it. Like I said, I'm here trying to execute something, but not really getting any sort of opportunity to follow through. Even this one, like I said, that was my target was right there at 58s. I trailed tight into 46. Could have really trailed it out a little bit better on that, but it's all right. So realistically, kind of just running into that wall there at 79. I think we can definitely get this up. If this is going to be a bounce play, then we can see if that'll work. I'll let that do its thing again. I'm only going to risk right down below that level. So can you push through, please? This is going to go. I'm going to risk the full 3. I don't want to take it off yet. This is going here. I don't want to trail too tight on it. Pussy out a little bit here. So up 300. Trying to get this to push up into that level there. If it's going to be a failure, then we're going to get out at even. But yeah, it's not going. It's not going. Come on. Can we get up there? Been a buy side market today. Still not getting the follow through on it. Come on, push up. I stopped out. All the following are NFA advertising using hypothetical track records. Using high pressure sales tactics, omitting material fact. You could do B. Another failed of that 44.50 level. The buyers are so strong in spite of the heavy selling. So we're getting into this area where it's either going to superly pop off through this wedge, or I don't know what superly means. That's a dumb word. It's either going to pop through this wedge or it's going to fail. So whichever side it goes, it's going to go pretty good. I would expect to see what happens around these levels. This is 2 failed breakdowns, and this is 2 times that we've butt our heads up right up against this top end of this wedge. So also Delta is wedging. So whichever way Delta wants to lead us potentially might be a good direction as well. Strong buy, strong buy. Strong buy here, pull back, pull back, pull back. So maybe this pullback is just going to be another push back down into there. That's a nice little breakdown from 40. Heavier Delta. Is Delta going to lead us downside, or is it going to pop us back up again here? Going to bounce. Another bounce from VWAP. That'll give us a nice breakout here. Or is this going to give us the breakdown? And I'll sell in if it gives us that breakdown. But it's really here. Another shorter term one right there. VWAP's right there. Everything's right there. S&P's is trying to creep back to VWAP. Still below it though. Let's see if that's correct. Holding below VWAP. S&P's. NVIDIA is still holding that key level. This is definitely a key spot to be interested in for sure. I think maybe we crack down here. We do get a heavier flush. So we'll see if this will crack. Not cracking. Delta's not cracking with this break. So if this is going to rotate back above this candle here, above 40, 41, then potentially failed breakdown on this side again. Failed breakdown, failed breakdown, failed breakdown. But also holding this level here. Less of a bounce on Delta. Still holding VWAP. Russell not leading us in any direction, just holding flat. S&P is still holding below 52.89, which is definitely below VWAP, but looking to possibly rotate up again. Looks heavy. Looks heavy. Big wick on that top end there. What does it look like on this? Right to that 45 level. Could go. Let's see if we can do that. We'll bookend it. Whichever way it breaks, we'll cancel the other end and we'll take it. See if that'll help us out here. I want to see which way it decides to make it move. Because if it breaks this wick, then it should pop to the high side. If it doesn't break this wick, then potentially this lower end breaks, and then we go to roll over at least the previous day lows here, and we'll catch a little piece of that. And it should be a quick move, whichever way it does decide to go. So we should be able to get to break even pretty fast. Our $300 stop loss should be fairly reasonable below either this area here below 42, and then up here above this level above VWAP. So either way, it should be fine. I just got to hope that it doesn't happen really fast and whippy and get me out and back into the other way. But it seems like it's going to get heavy here. There's Delta pushing downside. VWAP acting as support, but if VWAP gives up, then we should get through and down. And then hopefully down to 24. Below 24s, down through previous day lows. But still holding up. Really winding up here. Really winding up. All right, S&P is getting heavy. I think this will get the downside pressure because it's going to follow the S&Ps. There we go. We're going to get into this short, it seems. There we go. We're short. See if this will hold. Cancel that top side. Right there. 315. All right. See how far down we can take this. Let's get to 24 first. If we can get to 24, then potentially look to rotate through previous day lows. It's breaking from this wedge, so it should give you it quickly. I'm trying to let it do its thing a little bit here. Yeah, I'll tighten up even more. Right on top of this wick. Yeah, we're out. I'm going to stay out of that. All right, I'm going to go take a piss. I'll be right back. It's just not coming. Follow through, right? These things are not following through. Nothing here, right? So let's see what happens. 15 more minutes left in the stream. Let's see if we can get ourselves to green. Thinking that any sort of bid up here does squeeze us a bit. Just accumulating here. Still heavy on the delta. There we go. Heavier delta, price trying to creep up. Delta creeping in again to the downside. Does it actually give up this time and then we get stopped out and then we flip to the short side? Or is it just going to continue to hold up the way it's been holding up and then it's just going to give up and then there's going to be a squeeze to the high side? Seems like it wants to give up heaviness, right? Seems like it wants to get heavy. We're going to get stopped out here, down 580. Really trying to work these zones. There it is. Right down into 27. Kind of chopping myself up a bit here. You can see it. Being a little stubborn. You can see the heaviness in the delta. Price still not following through like it's been. It's just been trickery today. This was a nice support zone. Support. Giving it one more shot. With the lack of follow through, the 26 is Last little shot at it here. 10 minutes left in the stream. Kind of just traded just a trade today at the end of the day here. Early on, we took our shot at our real strategy. Today, we kind of just have gotten ourselves into a bit of a mess of trading, just kind of overdoing it a little bit, right? You can see just playing in the chop, getting ourselves a little bit mixed up in the chop. It is what it is, right? Sometimes this happens, sometimes it doesn't. We're still trying to work on maximizing our funding coming into June. Work on getting as many XFAs, as many PA accounts as we possibly can. See if this gives up this attempt at this short, because it just feels like it doesn't want to give up to the downside. It's been a buyer's market today, so we have hit off on this liquidity zone again here. So I'm looking to see if I can get this to be the squeeze to happen now. If it is, it is. If it isn't, we're still fine. Still working on having these combines, trying to get these things funded sort of quickly. So I do over leverage a bit. If I add 2 on top of this 45, it does make sense to kind of just continue to run it up. Take 2 off at the top here if it does get up there. He said 57, so there's a large sell order there. So see if we get through 45, 44, 50. This would be a failed breakdown again. And then if you break through this upper end of this trend line again, it should give you a little bit of a squeeze. Come on, get up there. Sitting at even. Buyer's market, a wedge. See if it'll pop the wedge to the high side after failing to break down, right? Sweeping this low, grabbing that liquidity, looking to possibly push the high end of the wedge. That was a grab down here into that 24 level, right? 25, 24. That's that big support level was resistance. Now it's support, 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 support. So see if we can get through this wedge to the high side, even against the aggressive sellers on the delta. So that's really what I'm looking to get to happen here. We are now pushing through it, up 3 on that, on 3 contracts. And I'm looking to add through 45, right? That's what I'm doing. So I'll go to even on this and see if the add will happen here on a squeeze. I want to see it to squeeze out. I want to pop on this. If it doesn't, then it's going to give up anyway, so I don't want to be in. So I'm willing to take that off, right? Could just take it and go, but I think that this is building into a squeeze for the long side, right? We have a few minutes left till 11 here, so if this is going to continue on upside, we should be okay, right? There's that push. There's the push. There's the push. Let's see if this will break through 47. If it does, it should give us a nice whip. And that'll be here. I think that'll probably put me at even right there. Cost averaging. Yeah, that puts me at even. So I am going to put it there just below that 44 level. See if we can get that off at the high, right? At least we're thinking through a good reason behind this trade. So now we're just going to see if it'll squeeze up even higher or if it's just going to be a failed breakout. But at the end of the day, like I said, I'm keeping it at 44.50. 44.50 is the stop. If it breaks back down before 40.50, then it's probably going to rotate lower, right? You can see this wedge here cracked. Let's see if we can get through this volume node at 56. And I want to take 2 off at the high here. And then see if I can rotate the rest of it to the profit target. So let's see what happens with this. Now we're just going to let it do its thing a bit. Do a little dance. We'll take 380. I want to see it squeeze above that. There we go. There's the push. There's a little more squeeze. So that's the right trade. We took the right trade on this. Up about 1,000 on the trade. I want to secure. I'm back to even with my trailing stop right now. So I'll take 2 off when it gets to that high. if it can, if it'll secure it to me. Come on now, secure 2, give it to me. Up 1100 on that. I want to take 2 off if it'll give it to me at that high there. I feel like the squeeze is still on. Should be okay to hold this low here, but it does give me at least back to even on the day and plus a little bit on this trade. So there's that. We took 2 off, so now we've realized even after being down 580, we're up 118 on that. There's that squeeze. So hopefully now we can push even higher. Alrighty. I would like to see this not get below our even point. Oh, actually, you know what? Yeah. That's 57s. Get above this. If we can get through the high, then I'm going to go candle to candle. If it stops me out, then it stops me out. I'll take the $300 on the day to end the day. Now it's going to flush. Yeah, it's the flush. Good. So we took 300 off on that trading combine. We ended the day here on this combine up 300 after being down 580 there. So that was a nice little, what do you call it? Trades there. We took off 710 and 185. So just shy of 1,000. So 7, 8, 9. Just shy of 9, just over $900 on that trade. 7, 8, 95, 895. So that was a good. Took 2 off at those, and then we ended up, understanding that this short area, short, bang, yeah, absolutely bamboo. There you go. You saw that one move. I do think we probably can continue on, but who knows? We could just consolidate in this area now. But that wedge tightened up. You can see the failed break on S&Ps. That was a good trade. We'll take that $300 and be happy with that on this combine. And that's a failed breakout at 44. So now watch, see what happens on the bottom end. Got 2 minutes left in the stream. If anybody has any questions, comments, concerns, anything that they want to see, like I said, I ended up that combine up there at 300. We took a couple bigger size shots at a short here and ended up getting whipped out on them prior to them moving. So we drew down a bit in our other combines, but we are still in good shape, still positive. Tomorrow we'll be copy trading 5 full accounts and see if we can get ourselves closer to the profit goal. See if we can pass any of these accounts by early next week or even the end of this week, and then also just start building into as much size. My goal is to have $1 million in funding by the end of June. So if I could get $1 million worth of these funding accounts, I should be in an okay position to be able to leverage certain sizes and then copy trade some of them and keep a couple in the background just to have as safety nets and just, take it slowly once we have all that funding. But I'm showing you that it's possible, showing you that you can do it. Even kind of with today's mess, we were able to come out positive on one of the accounts. So it's really nice to have at least that opportunity to show that it's possible. So that's a nice little breakout, retest on that trend line, right? Breakdown, retest 44.50 is that level, but there was that big size sitting at 57. So let's see if he's still there. We can just show you one more thing before I go. Dom Surface is a really cool thing here. I'm going to show it. It's basically Bookmap, but it's built into Quant Tower. I do pay for data on Quant Tower, so we do get this. See if that size is still there at 57. There is still 200 lots sitting at 57, so wants to get drawn back to 57. It never got filled, so somebody front ran it, and now it's pushing back down. So you can see the dome surface here, giving you some ideas on where there's some more size, and that size has now gone away. So that 57, that 200 and something lot at 57 is, 57, 200 lots still sitting there. So it still wants to possibly get drawn back up to that large order that has not gotten filled yet. So that's something to be mindful of. Hopefully everybody has a great day today. Did a little bit better than I did early. I know Charlie caught a really nice short. I know Jofi caught a nice short. I know there's definitely been some people in here that's made some good trades, some great execution. So we're going to wait and see what the rest of the day brings. Come back here tomorrow, 8:30 Central Time, and we'll see if we can make some good money here. I'm actually looking at this short again. I love shorts. Shorts are my favorite, if you can't tell. I might take a one contract short if it does give me that opportunity. I love when the delta gets heavy, when price is not quite getting there though. So that's the opposite divergence. Price made a higher high, a higher low here, and delta's trying to make a lower low. It's trying. It hasn't quite made it there. So this 44.50 level is acting pretty strong because we've gotten tricked again. Lower lows in delta, higher lows in price. Finally wick off a low here, and now you're manipulating to the high side. It's been a buyer's market. Russell is leading downside. S&P is creeping down. I think maybe you get one more manipulation up into the 44s before this goes down. Charlie, thank you. As always, appreciate your support. Thanks for the coffee shout out. There's a few things that I posted up in the chats, so I'll just run through those before I hop off the stream. If you do want to get into any of these Top Step combines or use Top Step X and have all its full functionality, click the link that I posted in the chat here, and then use the code that I posted, 5 Express funded accounts, and that'll get you $29 funding accounts. All right. Use this link here, Bamboo, if you're looking to get into any of those, or anybody who else is in the YouTube chat. Click that link there, and then use the code 5 Express funded accounts. It'll get you discounted 50K. I think everything's discounted, but the 50Ks are $29. So right now I'm looking to pass. They'll let us do 5 XFAs. I'm looking to maximize the ability to do that. I'll do 5 50Ks on Top Step. There's no reason to do bigger if I'm going to continuously just do what I did in April. And then May has been a very choppy month for me, but it's okay because we have came back to the plan. Obviously this morning we executed the plan and just didn't work. It's just kind of how it goes. Yes, the day before I was super patient, got to my levels, and was able to make some money. Basically, we're even for the week, slightly down, but could build that back up tomorrow. I'm not too concerned about it. This new XFA, this new combine we took here, like I said, just use that code. So take advantage of that code to get yourself up to, I don't know how many combines will let you run at a time, but if you pass all of them, you can have 5 XFAs at once. So it's worth the leverage. And like I said, my goal is to maximize my funding across multiple prop firms, just in case one decides to go and disappear on me or whatever. I'll have a couple other funding accounts. So I'm looking to get around $1 million worth of the funding. So by the end of June, we're looking to leverage out this and the Apex accounts. So like I said, use that to your advantage. Use that code. If you are so inclined to buy some coffee, we do have Day Trading Coffee Co. Use my code PolicingPips for 15% off, and that'll get you all the best freshly roasted coffee delivered straight to your door every time you order. And we're very quick. You order it. My roaster is on top of things. He'll roast it and send it out to you pretty fast. You're usually within you'll have your coffee within the week. Haven't had any complaints so far. If you do like our coffee or you like anything that we're about, head over to Google Reviews and leave us a review. 5 stars would be great. Just boosts the confidence in the brand and everything like that. So like I said, stream every day, 8:30 till 11. Go enjoy the rest of your day. See what you could do, and then move forward from there. I appreciate everybody coming in on a day-to-day basis, and hopefully we can grow this and we'll maximize our funding by the end of the month, early next month, and then we'll start to really pull out profits and start to leverage our props and our withdrawals. But until then, I really like this short, so just be mindful of that. Still high or low on the delta, still holding that low. Just not a lot going here. So for me, I think that's that for right now. I love how these other equity indexes are heavy. Could just go in with a one guy here before I get off, just based on the setup, because I haven't been taking these setups for a while. But I'm watching the S&Ps to see if it'll break down first. Holding. it's like I said, it's a buyer's market, so it seems like it's just been holding up here. That 44.50 is a pretty spot on level that's been kind of bounced around with quite a bit. You got Delta starting to creep up now. Prices now dipping. We have that. I bet you the point of control flips to this 40 level at some point today. It's up here right now at 64. If and when it flips, right, I would expect that pop to come in at that point. Delta's creeping up. I'm going to take one quick hit at this to the long side with the Delta creeping. I'll only take a one contract on it, and I'm going to get quick to break even. Based on Delta creeping here. Tried to push lower. Didn't quite make it there. Delta's now creeping up, trying to make new highs, holding this support, holding that level. If we can get through 45, I think we rotate quickly to 52. And if this candle cancels out, then you squeeze up high side. I'm looking to just take a quick hit on this if it does go. Like I said, I was very heavy into that short idea, but I feel like there's something that's holding this back. If it cracks that low and gets into that 40, then I'm going to watch to see if I can get out and not deal with this anymore. But with that, all this liquidity being grabbed here after that nice push up, if it doesn't break through 40, then potentially that's where I see that pop happening. But if it cracks 40, then 40 might be, you can see that high volume node there. So there's a crack of 40. Lots of volume getting executed at this area. What's the surface showing? I don't see any large orders down here. So it's not like chasing it. There's a 60 lot down at 30. And 9. Delta still creeping up. Caught all that volume down there at 40. So I think, like I said, I'm going to take a long through here if it goes. I'll risk to the low here at 40 and then see if I can get the break even kind of fast. Just wanted to see if it'll squeeze on me. Willing to give back this little bit of a trade here. That's why I only took a one contract on it. Trying to be really tight with it. There is a bigger size. Like, what did I say, 30? Yeah, down at 30, there's a 50 lot now. Lack of a push with the Delta is interesting. 40 still acting as that volume node, still trying to get there. I did mention the short was interesting to me, so I hammered in long instead based on today's data. Yeah, I'm not going to get that. So 900. If 40 gives up, then it's going to rotate all the way down to 30, down to VWAP. So I'm going to cut it down below this, all these wicks. But if it gets back up over that bigger wick there that we're talking about, then that's potentially this 45 is key. Yeah, we're out. We're flat. So cut it for the day. There's that good wick down to 35. Now you're pushing down heavier. There's your heaviness coming in. S&P wicked the low. All right, let's shut it down for the day. I'll see you guys all tomorrow. So otherwise, we're going to just keep trading for no reason here. So I appreciate everybody coming in. 8:30 a.m. Central. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Peace out.